Hi everyone! I am here today with a video on handbags I've sold and why. All of the bags I'm going to talk about are written in this notebook here. I don't have them to show you guys because again I have sold them, however I tried to dig up photos and I'll insert them in this video. I'm grouping the bags by reason for selling, and the first category is size, weight, or shape. The first one is the Alexander Wang Rocco. I only had this bag for a short time. I got tons of compliments on it and I really liked it. However, it was so heavy. I had this bag in the black pebbled leather with rose gold hardware. I ended up selling it, but I really liked the look of it with the rose gold and the black, so I ended up purchasing the Alexander Wang Dumbo, which is a backpack in the same colorway. Because it was a backpack, it distributed the weight more evenly, so I didn't really feel the issue with the really heavy leather and the studs. It became too small when I started doing my outfit a day posts on Instagram. I started bringing my shoes to and from work every day, and I also packed my lunch every day, and the compartment in the backpack just became too small to hold everything I needed to bring with me. I thought about keeping it for regular use and not bringing it to and from work because it's such a beautiful backpack. The straps were on the tightest setting and it already sat quite low on my back. I figured with additional wear the leather would stretch and eventually the backpack would sit too low on me, so that's the reason I decided to sell it. The next three bags I want to talk about are all Chanel bags. The first one is the vintage Maxi. This bag was beautiful, but it was way too big for me, and the Chanel logo on the front was huge. It was also gold, which made it very blingy, and I found that the only time I wore it with the C's facing in because I just felt it was too flashy for my style. Ultimately, I only wore it once in the years that I owned it. Likewise, the Chanel Reissue 227 is a bag that I felt was a bit too big for me. Unfortunately, I don't have a mod shot of it, but I do have two of the Chanel Reissue 225s, and those I feel are the perfect size for me. The last bag in this category is the Chanel Vintage Camera bag. I wore this bag quite a bit, but I found that the shape was too square for my liking. While it was a really convenient size, it held a lot of stuff. I just felt that it was a little bit too dated and it was a little bit too boxy for what I like to wear. Two bags I liked, but I just found I wasn't reaching for them very much. I would always choose to carry something different. The first was the Burberry Pochette. This was a little shoulder bag that I ended up purchasing a chain strap for, so it became a crossbody bag. That made me wear it a few times, but I still didn't gravitate towards it. I would prefer one of my other crossbodies. The next bag I struggled about, but I ended up selling it. It's the Balenciaga Brief in the shade Plum. I actually loved this bag. The only reason I sold it was because I wasn't reaching for it very much. This shoulder bag, when I'm wearing a really casual outfit with tights and running shoes, I thought looked so chic. Now I have a black tote that's very inexpensive that I feel gives me the same vibe, so I'm glad I sold it, but it took a while for that one. I really like this bag. It is the Trevi PM, and this is actually the bag that I picked for my one bag tag. If I only had one bag, it would be this one. However, I have more than one bag, and for whatever reason, I never reached for this bag. I also had two SLGs, small leather goods, in the Damier Ebene pattern, and I ended up selling those as well. I felt like the pattern was maybe a little bit too masculine. I had a card holder and also the bifold wallet. The next category of bags I sold are all because of the monogram pattern or the logo. Let's talk first about the LV monogram print. I actually do really like this print. I think it's classic, it's feminine, it's quite beautiful. I think the monogram print looks really smart and really chic, so I still do have a few pieces. The two LV monogram bags that I sold were the Recital and the Josephine. These two bags were my very first designer bags that I purchased at a boutique, and I purchased them at a Louis Vuitton in France with my girlfriend when we were there in 2004 together. I'm trying not to have any sentimental attachment to handbags, so I actually felt it was rather easy for me to sell, especially since I wasn't reaching for them anymore. The two other monogram pieces that I sold were this Gucci tote, which I very rarely reached for. I think I might have only worn it 2 or 3 times. And also the Fendi Zucca Classico #1 satchel. I saw this on Wendy's lookbook ages ago and I just thought it was so beautiful. I purchased it and I really liked it until I got tired of the pattern. I still really like the size, the shape, the functionality. It's a great travel bag. I went through a phase where I felt regret about selling this bag because I was going on vacation and I didn't feel like I had a good travel bag, and that one would have been perfect. So I regretted it for a brief moment, but then I brought my Mulberry Alexa and it all worked out fine. These two bags I sold were both Chanel's. They were both medium large flaps and I really liked the size, but again the logo was just a bit too flashy for my liking. So one was the black and gold classic flap and the other one was a dark beige and gold. Maybe the gold made it a little bit too flashy for me, although I do have a gold reissue Chanel now that is a little bit blingy, but I don't feel as self-conscious wearing it. Maybe it was that it was just too recognizably Chanel that I felt uncomfortable. I just didn't feel like it suited my style. The next three bags I want to talk about I sold mainly because of the color. I like more neutral bags and all three of these were quite bright. I did like the pop of color, but I got tired of it. I ended up selling this Todd's bag, which is really old. You guys have probably never seen me wear this bag, I don't think. I rarely reached for it. This is one of the very first designer handbags that I ever purchased. The other two bags were beautiful bags, Balenciaga Cities. One was in the mimosa with giant rose gold hardware, and the other was the Outreamer, which is a beautiful bright blue with regular hardware. Both of these bags are stunning. The colors are gorgeous. If you're wearing a neutral outfit, the bag just pops. I would go through phases where I would carry them, but they didn't really sing to me the way my neutral bags do. The last three bags are kind of interesting because I sold them due to future wear and tear. I love these bags and I was wearing them frequently, but so frequently that they were showing signs of wear. The first one is the Bottega Veneta tote. I loved this tote. It's so beautiful, so well made, gorgeous, goes with everything, but the corners were getting quite damaged. The leather was getting damaged and I just didn't want to lose a lot of value from the bag because I had other bags that I could use instead of this one. So I found that the wear and tear was really starting to bother me, and I'm not really the type of person to baby my bags or worry about them, but this one I was a little bit worried about, so I ended up selling it. The other bag that definitely fits into this category is the Balenciaga Twiggy in the color Sahara. I love pulling this bag out in the spring and summer when it starts to get warm out. Whatever the outfit, I can wear this bag with it. It's got that sand color but a little bit of a pink undertone. Absolutely gorgeous, but it was so light in color. I was worried a lot about it getting dirty. I was worried about the handles darkening. Once I start worrying about a bag, I feel like it's time to let it go. I don't want to feel that when I'm using my stuff. The last bag was tough for me because I loved this bag. I wore it all the time. This is my black Balenciaga City bag. It was from 2005. I bought it pre-loved. It was already beautifully smushy when I got it. Just the most beautiful leather. It got progressively smushier, more buttery, to the point that it was just so smushy that I was worried about it. I was worried that I would poke a hole in it or that it would start to fall apart. So eventually, in order to recoup some of my investment in it, I ended up selling it. That is it. Those are all of the handbags that I've sold and the reasons for me selling them. I've had a really long and expensive journey with handbags. I'm finally at a place where I feel I have everything I want, so I won't be purchasing any more handbags. When I sold my bags, I went through a third party. I just didn't have the time or energy to list them myself, so of course I didn't make as much as I could have. I didn't buy any of my bags to resell. I bought every single bag because I liked it. I thought I would use it. My taste and my style has definitely evolved over the years. The last thing I wanted to mention is that it's easy to fall into a state where you think you need a bag. but let me just tell you right now, you do not need the bag. Designer bags are definitely a luxury, not a need, so please don't fall into the trap of feeling that you need a certain bag to complete your collection. I definitely fell into that trap, and it cost me a lot of time and money. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize for taking such a long time to film. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back very soon with another video. Until then, please take care, and bye for now.